Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Spearfield7. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some of my predictions for, I would say, like the first month of release of Black Ops 3. I honestly don't think that the Call of Duty community deserves nice things. You can't really make anybody totally, completely happy with the game. So today I'm going to look into my little crystal ball here and try to decide, what are the 5 top things that I think people are going to complain about the most when the game drops after playing it for a couple weeks? Now, we got a beta. I got to play the game for I think almost 5 days. I think they actually extended the beta, which rocks. Thank you, Treyarch. But ultimately, I don't think we all had enough game time to really evaluate some of the issues. And I think David Vonderhaar is a creative, devilish genius. I think what they did was they were going to put rejack in the game, in the beta, so people could see it, so people could complain about it. I think he doesn't underestimate the intelligence of his player base, which a lot of the other developers do. And I think he was like, you know what, we're going to put in rejack, and these people are going to be so wound up about rejack, about reviving yourself and continuing score streak builds and that kind of thing, that they're going to be so upset with that they're not even going to, blink an eye at all the other shit that maybe needs a little tweaking, might be a little bit overpowered. Personally, I just like having fun games, and to have a fun game, you have to be empowered, you have to feel like a beast, and there are a lot of tools of mayhem and destruction in this game that I think are going to help accomplish that goal. So anyways, without further ado, let's get into the top 5. Number 1, I think people are going to be really upset with the specialists. Now, I mentioned, rejack and that kind of thing. That's been tweaked, that's been fixed. But ultimately, I think a lot of people were excited to use them, to use the new specialist abilities. I don't think people are going to really enjoy having other people equip their specialists against them, if that makes sense. So it's I love, in my last BO3 video, you saw that 5-man with a war machine, and that made me feel pretty damn good, but I can imagine that the other team and the other players were pretty salty about that. So I think with specialists, it's going to be a really tricky balance. I think the Scythe turned out to be one of my favorite specialists, the guy with the death machine turret arm, and that thing was so powerful, and the clip size was so huge, and the hipfire spread was ridiculous. It was literally a laser. You didn't even have to aim it, and you had about 120 bullets. So you saw in some of those 100 plus gameplays, I was just marching across the map, getting 8 or 9 kills every time I called it in, which is great. Once again, it's really great for me. I'm really excited about it, but I can see where other people are going to be really frustrated. So that's my first one. I think by December, you're going to be seeing people going, oh my god, specialists are so OP, oh my god, ban them all, nerf them to the point that they're not even fun to use anymore. And ultimately, I think they're going to probably do that to a lot of the things, which I think is kind of stupid and lame. It's you know what you're signing up for, and if you only play Call of Duty and you didn't get a chance to play Destiny, which I did, my channel is basically started with Destiny, so you can go back and rewatch all those vids if you'd like. It's something you have to get used to, and it's not just gonna, be a good thing just overnight, So the second one is Flinch. Now, a lot of people complained about this on Reddit, I noticed, when the beta dropped, and then it kind of quieted down and went away, and I think people are going to become more used to it, more used to not having toughness, and that they're going to adjust their shots accordingly to do, a good job. But the thing is with Flinch, a lot of people think that it has nothing to do with skill, that, it creates a lot of accidental headshots, it creates a lot of randomness, which I kind of disagree with. I think that if your reaction time is on point, you're going to be putting bullets on the other person first, and I think that the whole idea of Flinch was everybody equip toughness, And when everybody equips something, it's no longer valuable. It's no longer something that you need to use. And so I think that the players that can adjust to the flinch and adjust to the shaky shot are going to have, all the power and all the benefit. Number 3, I think Thermite is going to be a big topic of discussion. Now, BO2, I would say the EMP grenades were by far the most powerful thing in your arsenal. They took out, dragon fires and sentry guns and all sorts of equipment. And they also worked as like sort of a concussion grenade. You could kind of spot check rooms and that kind of thing. I think Thermite is going to be that thing in this game that's going to drive people crazy. Especially the pub stomping community and the people who really try to get high KD gameplays or whatever is, if you're getting spawn trapped and you have fast hands and Thermite, you can clear out the spawn trap pretty fast. So it's great. It's a great tool to break out of that stuff. It works, kind of both as a lethal and as a tactical. I kind of mentioned this in a previous video, so you can check that out if you'd like. But ultimately, I think Thermite is going to be the bane of people's existence, much like the C4 and the EMP grenade was in BO2. So a month after the game comes out, I think number 4 has to be the gun shop. Now, we don't know a lot about it. They let us design our own camos, which was really nice. But I feel like maybe they might be hiding something darker that we didn't get a chance to look at the gun shop. And I think that the types of things that you can do to manipulate your weapons aren't just going to be aesthetic. They're not going to be related to the design and the look and the feel of your gun, but they're also going to allow you to really stack up on the attachments. So I think people are going to be really frustrated in December, that you can put so many attachments on your guns and kind of make these mega weapons. And ultimately, I just feel a little nervous that we didn't get a chance to look at it. Maybe it wasn't done. Maybe they wanted to tweak some stuff and they were still, debating what to keep in and what to take out. But the fact that we didn't get to see that just kind of leads me to believe there might be something more to it. That maybe they wanted to hold off and maybe, make sure we bought our copies before they dropped the bomb on us. So anyways, I'm going to hold out hope that it's for the best. I had a blast with the beta. I think the game's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of good times. But that's just another thing that's been on my mind. And lastly, controversy-wise, I think that they're going to tweak game modes. They did this in Advanced Warfare. There was a game mode called Momentum that they had brought back from previous generations of Call of Duty. And people were really pub stomping, and I thought it was a great thing to just kind of work on your weapons, like when you're trying to upgrade your camos and that kind of thing. But a lot of people complained, and then they complained about domination and hardpoint, that it was too hard to get the streaks. So what they did with those game modes is they made, like every flag you capture 200 points. You made like every defend kill like 150 points. So people were calling in crazy amounts of streaks. I mean, it wouldn't be unusual for me to call in 6 warbirds in a domination match. And that's not because I'm a beast, but just literally like the points are being thrown at you at such a rate that it becomes kind of like, kindergarten stuff. It becomes like little kid stuff. Like it's really easy to do. And when everybody can do something, then it doesn't really separate the good and the bad players, because the bad players will just figure out ways to cheat and to camp and to alter their play style so that they get all those great things. So where this all comes from is when you look at game modes like Safeguard, you've seen lots of people dropping 100 pluses, myself included. You've seen people dropping 200 pluses. And I think that instead of incentivizing playing the objective, getting people to want to play the objective, they're going to be tweaking the point values so, your kills are only worth 10 points. Playing the objective is worth more, that kind of thing. And I think when they do this, it creates a weird atmosphere where people no longer are playing the games right. Like something that was really good about BO2 and even Ghost was domination was just like a very pure game mode. And the good players were rewarded and the bad players weren't. and it felt a lot more even. And with Advanced Warfare, they really screwed up the point totals on those things, and it became kind of a chore and not very fun to play anymore. Same thing with Momentum. When the game dropped, I was in that like 24/7. But once they changed the point values, all of a sudden a kill was worth 15 points. You were never going to get any streaks whatsoever. So then it became about, you know, who can get the most gun kills, who can you know, go crazy with their guns. You could still get those high kill gameplays, but it just felt a little bit different because you couldn't really rank up quickly. You weren't really getting enough XP and enough sort of reward for playing the mode. So it quickly became a mode that I just no longer played anymore. And, you know, as I mentioned, like Hardpoint and Domination, they really screwed those over. But anyways, I'm holding out hope for the best. I think this game's going to be awesome, and I don't want to be misunderstood. I think the game's going to be really great and terrific, and I'm really looking forward to posting more videos. But unfortunately, we've built this weird atmosphere since Ghost that the community's problems with the game can be tweaked and fixed by the developers. And honestly, I totally trust Treyarch to be a lot more balanced and be a lot more intelligent as far as some of their decision making regarding this game. And so I think we should all just kind of take a deep breath, get used to it, and then, you know, within 3 months, I think they're very intelligent people, and I think that they'll fix whatever problems might arise. So this is just kind of a cautionary warning. It's more to myself than anybody, just to take it easy and enjoy, have a good time, and hope for the best. So I hope you liked the video. I'm going to be posting more here shortly. And until next time, this is Spearfield7. See you later.
Defect. Enemies destroyed.